Welcome to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, hit the like, subscribe to this channel. We do podcasts Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And welcome to the Blah 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 podcast. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Monday. And to those who celebrate, happy Memorial Day to you. Good morning to everybody, to all my chat family. I hope you're getting a time to relax. Hopefully, you have the day off, and if not, then you'll get some time later on to relax and enjoy your day. But hi, Forever Mimi. How are you doing? Yes, good morning to you as well. If you guys could hit the like, I really appreciate it. Hi, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? Same to you. Same to you. Same to everybody. I'm not going to be on here for long because I know people are very busy today, but I did not want to neglect what I do. Consistency is so important to me. So today I wanted to talk about watch and protect the helpless. Watch and protect them. Because who is going to speak up and advocate for the ones that can't speak up and advocate? It's a very gray area, and I see it a lot in working with social work and being in the medical field and just things that I've seen in general in my life over the years. The ones that are have physical disabilities and they just can't do certain things for themselves, those who have mental disabilities, and I feel that those that have mental disabilities is hard because people just don't see that they have a problem because they appear okay, but maybe developmentally they're like the age of a child. They just can't have it together, or those who have some mental illness. There's always some people who are in a category that they are completely dependent on government assistance because they can't work physically, or they can't mentally, or because of some other issues. And I definitely am an advocate for many people, not just because of the work that I do, but I hate to see anybody being mistreated, anybody not having the things that they need. It hurts me from deep inside. It does something to me on a very high level. So let's get into today's topic. And the first one that I want to talk about is children. Children are very susceptible. They really don't know when something is bad or not good for them. They're very trustworthy, and there are some very unsavory people out there. There's predators, there's just misrepresentation, there's those that will try to get their personal private information via their social security number and try to open accounts in their name and just scheme. They're schemers, and we have to make sure that we're protecting our children from people who are like that. And yes, it causes for us sometimes to have to be that helicopter parent and be like really over everything, but it's okay. I can say that when I was younger, that my mother was a helicopter mom, but these days, now that I'm older, now I understand. When you're a kid, you don't get why why it is that they act the way that they act, but later on you find out that it was just protective. And you have to be protective of your children because they will believe anything. They'll fall for anything. And those exactly are the people who are preyed on and mistreated. Another aspect where we have to really care about them and watch what's going on is the elderly, because the elderly are the elderly are something. The elderly, like, I'm very serious about that. When my parents were alive, I was what do you call it? I was a bulldog. I was ferocious. Like, I would devour anybody who messed with my mother or my father, and I mean that in every aspect. Like, you better not talk to them any type of way. You better not try to scam them out of money. I was and I had to you have to take it by the horns, because of course, your parents or somebody who needs assistance is not going to tell you everything, because they just don't understand, or they think that everything is okay, because they tend to be very trusting. Forever Mimi says, I understand that situation, because when I was younger, my mom put a bill in my name and messed up my credit in the long run. Yes. And it's crazy, the things that happen when we're younger, and it follows us. They just, when they know your social security number, when they know certain things, they will try to completely drain your account, and then you'll have nothing. Hold on a second, guys. And they will just drain you and take everything that you have away from you. So we definitely have to be careful. I'm so sorry that that happened to you, Forever Mimi, and it's happening to so many children. And one thing that I can't stand is when one parent is not even hands on, but they'll try to go and get assistance. You know, they try to go and get assistance for a child that they don't even take care of, like whether it be the father or the mother. They'll say they need milk or food stamps, or their kids need clothing or something, and then they get certain things, like they get money or they get food, but it's never given to the children. Actually, they keep that food for themselves, or they go and purchase clothes, and that's for them. That's not for their children. So they misuse and mismanage funds, those that get food stamps, and give it to their new boyfriend or new girlfriend to take care of them, and give nothing to their kids. And that's the stuff that gets me fired up. Like, I don't say it much, but there are certain things that people do, like, I that will piss me off, when people mismanage money that is not theirs and use it to their own advantage. And like, they're getting all of this stuff. They're getting money, they're getting food stamps, they're getting all kinds of things for relatives or whoever. And that relative or said person gets nothing. And I pray that whoever is being taken advantage of, that somebody finds it out and they get some justice for what they're dealing with. And there's a lot of people who are suffering in silence, because they're a victim of so many things. You've never put anything in your kid's name. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, Miss Tamika, as you shouldn't. Well, there is some things that you should put in your kid's name, like opening up a savings account, a life insurance, something like setting them up for the future. I don't mean like opening something to use and mess them up. I mean opening up an account so that when they get to be 18 years old, they have money for college, or they have, if something happens to you, then they would be taken care of with a life insurance. That's some of the things that I believe in. It's very important to do as a parent, as a sibling, or as somebody who has somebody who depends on you, what happens if something happens to you? I would never want anybody who I take care of right now to end up being part of the state having to come in, or a social worker having to come in and take care of them because you are no longer available. Yes, I do believe in that too, forever, Mimi. Yes, trust funds when they get older. I do too. Trust funds, life insurance, stocks, bonds, equities, all kinds of things, for when they get older, or when they get into a position to understand money, because I think that's a conversation that we do need to have a talk about. So another one that I like, I go so hard for this, and that is those who are disabled and special needs. I don't play. I don't play about people who have special needs and people who are disabled, because they're depending on you and they're trusting. And I can't stand when I see those who are special needs getting verbally, emotionally, and physically abused, and those who are disabled, whether physically or mentally, challenged, and they don't have the support, or they get taken care of. They don't get taken care of, or they get, hurt in some type of way. They're getting used. I've heard people being their POAs, or their PAs, their advocates, to speak up for them, and they don't. Actually, they're signed over to make decisions for them, and they don't make good decisions for them. They don't care. They don't even buy them food. They don't get them clothing. They don't make sure they're getting the personal care that they need, like haircuts, and just looking nice, and looking presentable. They're not getting those things, and they're being paid for that, and they still don't give it to them. That's something that it burns me up. And every dog has their day, and I believe in the boomerang. What you put out there is what you're going to get back, and there are some people that when that thing comes back to them, it's going to be something heavy and something hard, for what they've done to hurt people who are helpless. That's one thing I don't like, is those that take advantage of those who are special needs and those who are disabled. Not that it's any less than for anybody else, but I have a special place in my heart, because I have a relative that has special needs, and I've had my parents when they were alive, and they had their disabilities and they could no longer do things. So I have a special place in my heart, not only because of that, but because of the work I do with social work, and the things that I've seen. No, that's a no no. You know. Yes, you do agree. You're a bus monitor, and I do have special needs on my bus, and I take good care of my special needs kids as well as my others. Exactly. And the thing about it is that I've seen a lot of people who are in career choices that they need to throw in the towel. They need to go get a new career, because that's not them. Like, okay, you're working with someone who has cognitive issues. You're working with somebody who has physical disabilities. Well, if you don't want to do that, then do a different career. I don't like to see when they get mistreated, yelled at, and shouted at, and just not treated well, or they make fun of them, and they may not understand what they're doing, but that boomerang will come back. Trust and believe it will come back. And this is something that is worldwide, and my heart breaks in a million pieces for those that don't have shelter. They have nowhere to go inside when weather conditions are not good all year. The weather conditions are not good, because either it's going to be hot, cold, or inclement weather, like it's a rainy day. Everybody should have a place to be inside of. And yes, sometimes those who are homeless um, make some issues. They don't make the best decision and then they wind up outside, but not all the time. A lot of people, they pass judgments about people who are homeless and think all the time people who are homeless have um, they choose drugs or alcohol. And yes, sometimes it can be that, but sometimes all it takes is one major thing to happen in their life, like somebody passing away and they were living with that person, or them getting divorced or losing a job. It just one decision, like I saw on the internet the other day. I was watching a video and it says you're one or two decisions away from being in the same position. Like, could you be kinder? I always try my best if it's in the power of my hand. And that's the way I was raised. When it's in the power of your hand to help somebody, it doesn't matter. Whatever they do with it is whatever they do with it. But I always try to give, even if it's a sandwich or a bottle of water. But does it ever hurt to treat somebody with kindness? It doesn't. It doesn't take anything from you to be kind. And those who are vulnerable to predators, abuse, and can't take care of themselves, we need to do better. And, I don't go into political things, but there's a lot of things that government and society can do better when it comes to our elderly and special needs and those who are disabled, especially the veterans. They sacrifice their life for their country, and now that they've done that, and now they may have physical or mental issues, PTSD, etc., and they're discarded. They don't have assistance and they don't have anybody to help them. And they're just discarded in society and disrespected and they're lost. And who's fighting for them? My heart breaks for that and that situation. But this right here, this is my heart. I am an advocate for women's health, women's needs, domestic violence, sexual assault, sexual molestation, verbal abuse, physical abuse. I ride hard for that. I really do, because some of that has happened to me in my life. Not all of it, but some of it has happened to me, and I can't say I know how they feel, but I know how it feels when you have been preyed on, when you've been taken advantage of, when you've been disrespected, when you've been discarded and you feel like you're nothing. My heart is open for those, and more needs to be in place for those who feel afraid for their life, for those that have nowhere to go, for those that want a new start, because they make you go through so much hoops in order to get help that you just forget it. They want to know everything, and you don't have time because you're on a, you may have just ran away from a situation and you just need to get in. Oh, there's a waiting list, there's this, there's that. We have to know, we have to do better, and even providing them with certain things that we don't really think about, like personal care items, maybe a diaper bag, food for children, clothing for children, diapers, even the ladies, their feminine care things and their personal care items. And what I hear all the time for the homeless people and children, they always need socks. They always need backpack and personal items like soap and things such as that. So we all could do better. We all can do better. Add to add to a elementary teacher one day. She was hollering and screaming at the special needs child. I was not having it. Yeah, I don't play those type of games. And When they do things like that, they can be reported to the state and have their license revoked. Open in Houston for 19 years, and I had to go into a domestic violence shelter to get away from my abuser. So I know how that one is. I'm so sorry to hear that, Forever Mimi. And you have a story and a testimony that you can share with others. I don't know if you're open to share that with others, but if you ever so choose, you can share that on your platform or mine, because I want to show that you can get away, and I always have to say, it's hard for me to talk about, but my show is dedicated to those that have not made it out, whether it be whatever situation they've fallen prey to their abuser. And my heart goes out to them and their families and their loved ones. But I love hearing the success stories of those who have got out, like you, Forever Mimi, and like me, and many other people that I know have got out of very toxic and dangerous situations. Um, and I know that we never 100% heal from that. That's always going to be a part of our story. But at the same time, we can help, and talking about it will help others, because every time I share my story about my abuse, I get stronger. I feel better about myself, all of those things. So I wanted to speak up and have this conversation, and to say to anybody who is helpless, wherever you may be, a child, elderly, disabled, special needs, homeless, discarded, SA, SM, DV, no, whatever form of physical violence or sexual violence, even those who are being trafficked. That's a conversation that I'm going to have at another time. I'm working on something currently, so I can have a conversation. But yeah, it's all of those things that I want to talk about here on the show, and let you all know that you are not helpless, that there is hope for you. You just have to find the right people, because the ones that are abusing, those who are taking advantage of these said people, it's going to come around. It will come back to them. But my concern over here is for you to get out, for you to feel safe, for you to be somewhere comfortable where you feel loved, even if you're just by yourself, in a safe, comfortable space. That's why I do this, to advocate, to elevate, and to have conversations. You're open to that? Okay, Forever Mimi. Just send me an IG. I'm on Instagram at underscore best best life crew. I'm gonna see if I can put that in the chat. You can if you have IG, or you can send me an email. I think my email is on the channel, but let me put this in here. Underscore best life crew. And not just you, Forever Mimi, anybody who is open to wanting to share their testimony or their story of escape, those who have been probably in the military and got out with some PTSD, those who have been SA, SM, um, those who have been homeless, those who have been preyed on. My heart is open for you. You know, I'm here. I'm here for. I'm here for all of you. Not because I can understand, and I would never try to say I understand what you're going through because I can't. Everybody's situation is different, but I have this platform to open up and to, yeah, to open up and for us to have conversations about things that most people want to keep under wraps. They don't want that coming out. They want to keep that a secret. And it's time for us to stop being secretive about big issues because it gives you mental, emotional, and even it affects your self-esteem and well-being. So keep your head up. Make sure you're getting some support, whatever the support may be, through a therapist, through a counselor, a friend, spiritual support, and most importantly, get away from whoever is disrespectful and using you. It's time that we care about one another. We show love to others. Every single person is a human being and they have feelings. And you matter. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And to those of you who have been victimized, have been hurt, I hope for healing for you. I hope for support and whatever it is that you need. And those of you who know of somebody and you know that they're helpless, don't just close your eyes to the situation or pretend like everything is okay. Make sure you're keeping your eyes on those who are helpless, those who can't speak up for themselves. Somebody has to love them, somebody has to advocate, and somebody has to protect them. You have tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here and watching listening to today's podcast. We do these podcasts Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are welcome to it. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day, and you've tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. Shout out to you, Miss Tamika, and to Forever Mimi, and anybody who tapped in the replay. Please leave me a comment and leave a like. I will see you all tomorrow on the next podcast show.